Hello, grade 10th. I hope everybody is doing fine. So, last day we had done nutrition in plants, which is autotrophic in nature, and today we will be doing nutrition in animals, which is heterotrophic in nature. So, basically, nutrition in animal is heterotrophic. Hetero means different, and trophic means food. So basically, these organisms depend on other organisms, or other organisms would mean autotrophs. So it depends on other organisms for making food. So, to derive nutrition from them. So basically, heterotrophs are those that do not make their own food and they are dependent on autotrophs directly or indirectly for food. So, on the basis of this, heterotrophs are divided into three groups. Firstly, is the herbivores, that you know is the plant eating or the grass eating animals. Say, so for example, cow, goat, deer, these are all herbivores. Next, we come to carnivores. Now, carnivores are flesh eating organisms, flesh eating animals, for example, dog, tiger, lion, etc. Lizard also falls in this. Next, of course, we have the omnivores. Now, omnivores, they are just like us, they eat both plants as well as animals. For example, human beings, for example, bears. Next is, of course, your cockroach. So these are all examples of omnivores. Even crow is an omnivore. So basically, these heterotrophs derive food from where? From the sun, firstly. The autotrophs take in the energy, make food through photosynthesis, and then they reach the heterotrophs. Right? Now, heterotrophs have different habits, which we have already discussed. Now, what are the different steps by which we attain nutrition or we get nutrition? Now, nutrition is not very easy thing, and I have already told you, nutrition means basically taking in food and utilizing the food to give energy, right? So basically, nutrition is divided into 5 parts: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, egestion. So first we come to ingestion. Ingestion is the way by which food is taken in. Okay, it is taken in through the different parts of an organism. Next comes digestion. Digest means to break down. Break down what? Break down large insoluble food substances, complex one, into simpler ones. That is known as digestion. Next, once it is broken into simpler particles, you know what has to happen is it has to get absorbed in the blood, in the cells. So by blood it will reach different parts and it will get absorbed in the cell. Now once it reaches the cell, of course it will release energy. Now this process in which the food accumulated, the absorbed food which is accumulated, is utilized by the body cells to provide energy or for growth and repair is called assimilation. And whatever part is not required, that is thrown out of the body. The undigested part is thrown out of the body by a process called egestion. So now we come to nutrition in simple animals. So I will show you, you have to refer to the notes. Now, as you're aware that amoeba and paramecium, they are unicellular organisms, and amoeba and paramecium both, they do not have a proper digestive system as such because they are all unicellular. And we will now see how nutrition is attained in amoeba. Amoeba, as you see, can eat tiny plants and animals which floats in water where it lives. So they are called phytoplanktons. And the mode of nutrition in amoeba is holozoic. That means they take in solid food. And the process in which amoeba acquires food is known as phagocytosis. Now we will see this way in which phagocytosis is taking place in amoeba. You see, In this case, you see this is the amoeba and that's the nucleus. And you see the red color, that's the food particle. Can you see now? Yes. Now, you see amoeba has false feet-like projections called pseudopodia, and the amoeba is forwarding towards the food particle with the help of pseudopodia. Once it reaches the food particle, it captures it, encapsulates it, and this process is known as phagocytosis. The food particle is taken inside, and there is a small vacuole called food vacuole. In food vacuole, the food particle enters. Once the food particle enters, it is engulfed by the food vacuole, and basically it is digested by means of certain enzymes that are present in the food vacuole. So this is how ingestion takes place in amoeba by the help of pseudopodia, followed by the food vacuole, which is called their temporary stomach, and then digestion takes place by the means of digestive enzymes that are present in the food vacuole, which breaks the food into soluble chemicals, and finally absorption takes place because it has become soluble molecules. Next, assimilation. That means the absorbed food materials are now used to obtain energy through respiration, and they will break down and oxidation will take place and energy will be released. And finally, by a vacuole called the contractile vacuole, the extra undigested material will be thrown out of the body of amoeba. Next, we come to paramecium. Paramecium also uses hair-like structures called cilia. Cilia, they are hairy, tiny structure around the flipper-shaped paramecium. They basically have the food particle. They sway it in front of their mouth through the water current. They sweep their cilia and let the food particle reach their mouth, and then again the different steps, that is digestion, absorption and assimilation, and finally egestion takes place as in amoeba.